All right, so if you look at the method that we use, just the sort of the visual method that we use to find out if a graph is a function, what was it called? You guys remember? Vertical line test, right? So a vertical line test tells us whether this is even a function. So do any of these fail the vertical line test? Yeah, this one. So that's not a one. So it can't even be a one-to-one function, right? Because it's not even a function. Any others that fail the vertical line test? This one. Okay, so those two fail the vertical line test. They're not even functions. And now there's a secondary test that you can use to see if something's one-to-one. Anybody have any idea of what that might be? Jack? Correct. So if we're saying that there's no one-to-one functions if two of the same outputs come from different inputs, let's use horizontal line test. Okay, so are there any of these graphs that fail a horizontal line test? This one. So this is a function, but it's not one-to-one. Okay, is this a function here? Okay, so it passes the vertical line test. Is it a one-to-one function? Yeah, so this one would work. It passes both the vertical and horizontal line test. What about this graph? Vertical and horizontal, so that's a one-to-one function. What about this? Fails the horizontal, so that one is a function, but it's not a one-to-one function. Okay. Now, the reason that you're going to be using, or to identify one-to-one functions will be the only way that a function can have an inverse, which is something we'll talk about later in the chapter, is if it's one-to-one. Right? If the function's not one-to-one, the only way you can designate it to have an inverse is if you restrict the domain so that the domain represents the portion of that function that does pass the one-to-one tests, both the vertical and horizontal line tests.